All right, this is an order of protection that Ms. Elmore had brought against Mr. Keeney. We've obtained an ex parte order of protection, and today's hearing is designed for the court to determine whether or not there is basis for extension of that order. First question is, do you want that order of protection extended?
I do.
All right. And do you oppose that extension of that order of protection, Mr. Keeney? You do not oppose it. You understand the order of protection can be extended for 1 year at her request, and if you don't oppose it, then we're not going to have a hearing. I'm just going to issue that order of protection as it was for 1 year. You understand that? Is that what you wish to do? Raise your right hand. Let's place you under oath.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall now give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
All right. Ms. Elmore, you've already stated, but now that you're under oath, you want to have this order of protection extended for 1 year.
I do.
All right. Mr. Keeney, you are here today as a respondent. You're entitled by law to have a hearing where the plaintiff would be, a petitioner would be required to put on proof that would justify me in issuing this order of protection for an additional period of time up to 1 year. You can agree that that order of protection can be extended without having to have that hearing. So I'm asking you earlier, and I want to make sure we're clear, do you want to oppose this extension of this order, or do you agree to the extension of the order?
Do not agree.
You do not agree with this? All right, then have a seat there at that table. Ma'am, if you'll come around, I'm going to ask you, you've already been placed under oath, so you'll need to take the witness stand here, and I need you to testify as to all of the reasons why you feel like your order of protection needs to be extended, and that goes to, in other words, you're going to have to testify about why you sought an order of protection and all of the matters that are set forth in your original petition. Okay? Speak closely into that microphone so it's picked up.
He physically threatened me, put a handgun in my hand, told me he'd shoot me or shoot him, and he violently wouldn't allow me to go get my kids while they were crying in the middle of the night. He's put his hands on me several times. He's thrown me around several of our pregnancies. He's physically, verbally abusive. And I'm scared of him. And I don't know what he'll do.
Now, do you have a copy of the petition that you filed?
I do not.
All right. In that petition, you filed that you made the following accusation. It says he's woken me up from bed, grabbing me, slinging me around, throwing things at me, forced a gun in my hand and told me to shoot myself or him. Also said I could leave, but not with my kids, and if I tried, then he would kill me.
Yes.
Now, is that something that you still?
That's all accurate.
Pardon?
That's all accurate. That's all.
Right. All of that is true and correct?
Yes, sir.
And when did those things occur?
I'm not exactly sure on the date. I want to say it was like the end of May or the end of June. No, I'm sorry, the end of April, because I left Ohio May 1st. So it happened that previous Saturday night was when that happened.
You signed this petition on May the 5th, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. I got here in Tennessee on the 1st.
And so you're saying that those things that you described occurred. You also stated that it's got to the point where our own kids are afraid of him. When he yells, raises his voice, they are scared, crying. I'm scared enough to not know what to expect next.
Yes, sir.
Right. And your testimony is that that's the basis for you getting an order of protection.
Yes.
And do you want the children to be involved in that order of protection as well, or do you want him to be prohibited from having any contact with you and the children?
I don't mind him being in contact with the children.
And under what circumstances Were you and he living together before you got this?
Yes,
And so after you obtained this order of protection, what is your intent? Are you married to Mr.
we're
Keeney?
not married.
All right. Is there any custody order down between the two?
No, sir.
What are you proposing for him to be able to see these children? First of all, how old are they?
My son will be 3 in September, and then our twin girls will be 2 in November, and then I'm expecting a little girl right now.
So you're pregnant with his child?
Yes, sir.
So again, I can only deal with the children that are live born, but what are you specifically asking the court to do regarding a visitation schedule with him? And the
Well, he
children?
lives out of state, so I don't know how that would work.
He lives in Ohio?
Mhm. But like him communicating on the phone or whatever, I'm okay with that. But I just wouldn't want nothing to jeopardize him trying to take my kids back to Ohio, because we're here in Tennessee and we're not going nowhere.
Anything else you want to tell me about this situation?
No, no, sir.
All right, Mr. Kennedy, you have questions. You're not required to ask questions, but I'm going to give you a chance to testify. But do you want to question her about anything that she said? All right, he doesn't want to question you, so you may step down. And you have a seat at the opposite table. Do you have any other witnesses, Miss Elmore?
I have my mother, sister, and brother here.
All right, if you want her to testify?
She can, yes, sir.
Well, now this is your case, so understand what's saying that she can, it doesn't matter to me whether she does or not. It's up to you to put on the proof that you think justifies this. So do you want her to testify?
Yes.
All right, come up, please, ma'am. You're acting as your own attorney, so you're going to have to put her on the stand and question her. Raise your right hand and be placed under oath.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall now give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Come around, please, ma'am. And I ask you as well to step to get as close to that microphone as you can and testify. Ms. Elmore, she is your witness, so if you will ask her the questions you think are important.
Do I need to stand or am I okay?
At the podium, I'm sorry. First of all, so that the record is clear, you are the mother of Miss Elmore, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And what is your name?
Patricia Wahardo.
Okay. Now, Ms. Elmore, we've established who she is and what her name is. You may ask any questions about her testimony. Needs to be regarding what this order of protection is about, the allegations of abuse and so forth. So ask her any questions you think is relevant.
On May 1st, the altercation that happened in the parking lot. Will you explain what happened? Okay, so on May 1st, I was in contact with my daughter just about every day. I knew the situation was getting very concerning to me. On Monday prior to May 1st, I actually talked to her, and from the abuse, verbal, mentally, physically, that she was sharing with me, I explained to her that day that if she didn't go to the school or go to the police station, that I was going to call myself. For the simple fact that I did not want to not hear from her one day, and I had to make that call. So on that day, to my knowledge, it was either that Monday prior to May 1st of that week or that Tuesday. I'm not sure. I have notes, but I didn't bring my notes with me. I'm sorry. It was one of them 2 days that she actually went to her oldest daughter's school and reported everything that was going on with her. I felt good in the fact that she did that, for the simple fact that somebody besides her knew what was going on with her. We continued to talk every day. She told me Tuesday night into Wednesday that she had to leave by May 1st is when she got her son's check.
And she made the comment to me, Mama, I will not make it another 30 days if I stay here. That's when I decided to drive Wednesday night, all night. I met with my daughter that Thursday morning, May 1st. He made contact with me on my phone, begging me to let him see his children before we left.
Where do you live, ma'am? Where do you
I
live?
live in McEwen.
In McEwen, Tennessee?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I let her know.
Is your daughter living with you now?
Yes, but
Okay.
she's in a home. She's getting help.
Okay.
I have the children. I have temporary custody of the kids.
You have temporary
Yes,
custody of the
and right
kids?
now, neither one of them can see the children. That's court ordered.
All right. Is the juvenile court involved in this?
Correct.
Regarding the children? Okay. And so right now you've got temporary custody of the children through juvenile court, and you are following those court rules.
Yes, sir.
All right.
No contact with the dad. Right now I'm scared to even have a family calling because I don't know if he's there.
Right.
But so May 1st, he met us up, he caught up with us at McDonald's. Soon as he seen the van, he jumped out of his car like a madman, ran to the drive-through where she was at trying to get breakfast for the kids. And that woman that's with him there was in the parking lot. Me and her were unaware that he had people there with him. He grabbed the keys to the van, threw them. That woman right there in the blue purple hair grabbed the keys, would not give them back to me, and I asked her to give them to me. Then he just went acting like John. Went into the van. Whitney, myself, asked him not to get the kids out of the van. Kids were screaming, crying by that time. He just ignored us to not get the children out of the car. He went to the back of the van, grabbed the 2-year-old, Briar. He was screaming, and he started walking in the parking lot holding his son in his hands. By this time, because of me watching him grabbing her keys, I was scared to get my phone out of my car because I was scared he was going to get my phone and throw it, or his people that he had with him were going to do something. I ran back to my car to get my phone, and people at McDonald's were already hollering at me, telling me they already called 911. So I'm waiting to hear, because I was trying to get information from the police station that was involved. I've been told 2 different police stations, so I'm still kind of working on that to see if anything was reported on that day.
All right. What you know about the physical abuse of your daughter, is that all what she's told you?
Yes, and what
Have you
I've
ever seen anything?
I've took pictures of it,
You suspicion?
and I've also took pictures of her bruises
Oh,
on her body.
Okay. And did you take those pictures, or you've seen the pictures?
No, I took them once I got her home here.
Okay. And those were pictures that were given to the court and juvenile court regarding the children?
No, not yet. No, they haven't. They suspended everything as far as juvenile court because of this.
Right.
She said we were at a standstill as far as the custody.
Well, juvenile court has priority over this court regarding custody of the children. Once children are taken into the custody of juvenile court, that court controls. Unless and until they conclude the litigation or they relinquish jurisdiction back to this court. But this court can only today issue or not issue an extension of an order of protection. In this case, it won't involve the children because they're under the protection and control of the juvenile court. So that's why that's important. All right. Thank you. Any other questions for her?
Yes.
Mr. Keeney, do you have any questions for this lady? Thank you, ma'am. You may step down and have a seat in the courtroom. Ms. Elmore, do you have any other witnesses? No other witnesses. Mr. Keeney, you are not required to put on any proof but you are given an opportunity, if you wish, to testify yourself or to call witnesses of your own. Do you want to testify in this case? Come on up. I would remind you that you were previously sworn, so you need to have a seat. So. Tell me, this is your opportunity to tell me why you oppose the extension of the order of protection and whether or not you think that there's a basis for that. So.
I wanted to extend it because
Speak up to the microphone.
I wanted to extend it because I'm afraid of the safety of my children.
You understand that the children, according to the proof, the children are under the control and jurisdiction of the juvenile court of Humphrey County and not this court. I don't have anything to do with the children because they're under the juvenile court. You understand that? So go ahead. And the question is having to do with this order of protection. It's only going to be between you and her. Juvenile court's going to control your access to the children. So do you oppose having this order of protection against you to keep you from contacting or being around her?
I don't agree with it.
All right, then tell me why you don't agree with it.
I just don't feel like it should be done like this. I should be able to be a part of my family. It was all false accusations. I mean, I don't know where the bruises have came from, but we had a big red-nosed pit. Well, we have kids. She was a stay-at-home mother. I don't understand where any of this is coming from.
Okay. Anything else?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Elmore, you're acting as your own lawyer. You can ask questions if you want. You want to ask him any questions, you have to come to the podium, and it has to be in the form of a question. You've been given your opportunity to give your version of the events, so ask him questions.
So you never put your hands on me or threw me around?
No, ma'am. The only time I got physical is when you was physical. I was trying to get you away from me because I had our kids in my hands.
And when was that?
It was here in Tennessee when you came home drunk. When our oldest daughter said that you was running off the road into the ditches.
I'm talking about in Ohio, the reason why I left. Like, and the gun that you put in my hand?
The gun was in the truck the whole time at Ariel's house in the pickup truck.
Okay. Yeah, I'm done, sir. I have no more questions.
You live in Ohio.
Yes, sir.
You have any witnesses that you want to call?
Yes, sir.
Have a seat. Call your witness.
Ariel.
Raise your right hand. Be placed under oath.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall now give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Come around, have a seat in the witness stand. Mr. Keeney, this is your witness, so you're acting as your own lawyer. You're going to have to ask her the appropriate question. What is your name, ma'am?
Ariel Waller.
Ariel Waller?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead.
Which one did you see in our relationship physical?
So all of my knowledge has been that Whitney has been the one that's physical. I have recordings of her on my phone screaming and cussing at John. She even got physical with me at the.
What is your relationship with these parties?
So John is by law no blood to me, but he was raised as my brother.
Okay. And you've been around the two of them when they were living in Ohio?
Yes, sir.
Right. Go ahead.
I have recordings of Whitney screaming and cussing at John, and even the day at McDonald's, she grabbed a hold of my arm whenever I picked up her keys that were thrown. I picked them up, and she grabbed a hold of my arm and struck around on my arm. So that is to my knowledge the physical one. She also has like past history of being physical.
What other questions?
What was your story? What happened at McDonald's?
So my husband and John worked together, and
they left for work already that day, and I seen John pull in a panic, and I walked outside and he was already gone. And my husband told me that Whitney was taking the kids and leaving the state of Ohio, and John went to go meet them so that he could see his babies. And when we got the word that they were at McDonald's, we went down there and they were already there. Whitney's mom was in John's face when I got there, and I got out of the car, and I told John to go calm down and picked up the keys. And then Whitney grabbed a hold of me, and I still the keys in my hand. I told her just to wait for the sheriffs because we had already called the sheriffs. We called the sheriffs before we left my salon, which is only about 5 minutes down the road. And then when they went back to arguing, I set the keys on the top of her hood, and her mother and her uncle were there. Her uncle, to my knowledge, is a sex offender who's not supposed to be around children. He was there, and they were cussing me, and my husband told him that he had to leave me alone. The babies were in the car unattended, and John went and picked one of them up, Briar, the oldest. Ainsley, her oldest, was standing over there with me. I was just trying to keep her calm and keep her out of the hustle and bustle of the situation. And then the police got there, and they the police in Ohio said that they were allowed to go and to take it up with our custody court, which we did. We filed for custody shortly thereafter.
Okay, anything else?
My dolly was broke down at your salon, correct?
Yeah, your dolly's been at my salon for a while now. He just now got it legal as of last week. We have a gated lot on the back of my salon. That's where it was at.
What?
We have a gated lot on the back of my salon. That my husband does like restorations on cars and stuff, so it was parked out there with it.
That's what I got was that. Because I always kept it in the truck because we had
Testifying, you can only ask questions.
That's it.
Anything else? All right, thank you. Ms. Emery, do you want to ask questions of this witness? Remind you that they must be in question form.
I just want to say I have nothing because they're under oath and it's nothing but lies. So I'm good.
Have a seat. Thank you, ma'am. You can step down.
Thank you.
Do you have any other questions?
Yes, sir.
Any other witnesses? I'm sorry. You have any other proof? All right. What I can tell is very clear from this situation is that the relationship between the two of you is extremely volatile, and I think it's best to try to separate the two of you. Court finds that there should be an extension of this order of protection, but I'm not going to extend it for an entire year. I'm going to extend it for 6 months. And this only applies to the relationship between Ms. Elmore and Mr. Keeney. In other words, I'm not preventing you from having contact with your children, but you're not to come around or threaten or harass or have any contact with Ms. Elmore other than that which is allowed by the court regarding the visitation with your children. You understand all that? All right. It'll be for a 6-month period. If you'll have a seat in the courtroom, a seat out in the hallway, I can give you a copy of this after I'm finished filling it out. Thank you.